Welcome to The Explainer. If you're gearing up for your AWS Solution Architect exam, you already know that network performance is a huge deal. Well, today we're diving into AWS Global Accelerator, a service that honestly is like giving your users a first-class ticket to completely bypass all the traffic jams on the public internet.
All right, let's jump right in. First, we'll talk about the big problem that Global Accelerator was built to solve. Then we'll see how it acts as an express lane for your traffic. After that, we're going to pop the hood to see how it works, clear up that classic confusion with CloudFront, and wrap things up with some seriously impressive real-world results.
Okay, so first things first. To really get why Global Accelerator is so cool, we need to understand the problem it solves. And that problem? It's the wild, unpredictable nature of the public internet itself.
And believe me, that unpredictability, it really matters. Just look at this stat from Amazon's own history. It's wild. Tiny delays can have a massive impact on business. When you're running a global application, those little milliseconds add up so fast and can hit your bottom line hard.
So here's the bottom line. When your user's traffic has to hop across a dozen different public networks to get to your application, it hits congestion, it takes weird routes, it gets jittery. This chaos is the absolute enemy of a good user experience, and it's exactly the kind of thing we, as architects, have to solve for.
So, how does AWS get around this mess? Well, let's talk about the solution, your very own express lane that just zooms past all that public internet chaos.
Okay, this right here, this is the core definition you absolutely have to burn into your brain for the exam. Global Accelerator doesn't cache your stuff. Instead, it optimizes the path your users take to get to you. It gets their traffic onto Amazon's super-fast private global network as quickly as humanly possible. And I love this analogy because it's just perfect. The public internet is like a local city bus, right? It makes a bunch of slow, unpredictable stops. Global Accelerator, on the other hand, is the express train. Your users get on at the nearest AWS station, an edge location, and then it's a non-stop, high-speed, private ride directly to your application. And the result of taking that express train? I mean, what does that actually get you? How about a performance boost of up to 60%? Seriously, for anything that's sensitive to lag, like gaming or VoIP or financial apps, that is an absolute game changer. Okay, let's pop the hood and see how this thing actually works. For the Solution Architect exam, you've got to know the key pieces that make this whole service tick. So these are your building blocks. It all starts with two static Anycast IP addresses. This gives you a super stable, highly available entry point. From there, listeners check out the traffic on specific ports, and then they route it to an endpoint group in the best region for that user. And inside that group, that's where your actual stuff lives. Your load balancers, your EC2 instances, you name it. Okay, lean in for this one, because this is a classic exam topic. The standard accelerator is what you'll usually use. It's smart. It automatically finds the best, healthiest endpoint for each user. But the custom routing accelerator gives you this incredibly fine-grained control. It lets you map a bunch of users to one specific EC2 instance. So think about a multiplayer game lobby, where you need every single player to connect to the exact same game server. That is the perfect job for custom routing.
All right, let's tackle one of the biggest points of confusion for pretty much everyone studying for the exam. How in the world is Global Accelerator different from Amazon CloudFront?
This table spells it all out, but here's the one thing you need to remember. CloudFront is a CDN, a content delivery network. Its job is to cache your content, like videos and images, closer to your users. It's all about the what. Global Accelerator is not a CDN. Its job is to find the fastest network path for all kinds of traffic, including non-HTTP stuff like for gaming or IoT. It's all about the road you take to get there. What versus road. Got it?
So, theory is great and all, but let's see how this actually performs out in the wild. And spoiler alert, the results are pretty amazing. Take Atlassian, the folks behind Jira and Bitbucket. What they point out is so key. Usually getting a big performance boost takes a massive amount of engineering work. But with Global Accelerator, they got these incredible results with a tiny team in just a month. That's a huge win.
And what did that work get them? Bam! A 45% drop in response times for their users around the world. Think about that. That's a night and day difference in user experience, and they barely had to change their architecture. Now, for a gaming company like DevSisters, the makers of Cookie Run Kingdom, lag is the ultimate enemy. And for them, P95 latency, which is basically the experience of 95% of their players, was cut by more than half in some places.
That means a much smoother, much more fun game for almost everyone.
Here's another one. The hiring platform Lever had a customer that literally cut their app load times in half, over 51%, just by turning this service on. It just goes to show how quickly you can see a massive win. It's not like they had to re-architect their whole world.
And it's not just about speed, right? It's also about reliability. The gaming company JoyCity saw a huge improvement here. By using that stable AWS network, user disconnections from network timeouts dropped by a factor of 8. 8! That's a massive win for keeping players in the game.
So, let's wrap this up. If you remember nothing else for your exam, remember this. Global Accelerator is for the network path, not caching. It is not a CDN. It gives you 2 static IPs for a rock-solid front door. It handles all kinds of traffic, including TCP and UDP, and it automatically fails over when things go wrong. And of course, know the difference. Standard for letting AWS find the best route, and custom for when you need to pin users to a specific server.
Look, this service really unlocks a whole new level of performance and reliability, making it an incredibly powerful tool for any architect. So the real question to take with you is, now that you know how to build the fastest path, what are you going to accelerate? Thanks for watching.